I'm here today to talk about the pros and cons of living in Herriman, Utah. So I'm going to jump right in and just get started right away. For one, would be that there's a ton of outdoor things to do, like hiking. They have this place called the Black Ridge Reservoir where you can swim, you can paddleboard. You can't fish in it because there's no fish. They have a playground. They catfish in the winter months. You'll catch trout most likely, and then wiper probably from spring to fall in that range, I believe. They also have an equestrian center that you can go to and hang out if you're into horses at all. So that would be my pro number one for Herriman, would be the outdoor stuff that you're going to be able to do. Pro number two is amazing views from both the west side and the east side. I would say looking east is 10 times better than looking west. However, west you have like the copper mine that you can see, and then some other mountain ranges. But on the east side, you're going to see like the Provo Mountains, which look amazing, and then the other ones, when they get filled with snow, they look really cool. And then in the springtime, when the snow melts, you get a different view. So just when you're getting tired of like the one view of the mountains, then it changes and you get a different view. So that would be number two, would be just the views. Herriman, for the most part, almost everywhere in Herriman, if you get the right facing home, you're going to have an incredible view. Pro number three, you can still find large lots here in Herriman. So if you're looking for, have horses or just a bigger yard, that's still possible to be done in Herriman. It's getting harder and harder as they're building more and more housing that's, more closer together. However, you can find horse property. You can also find property where you can put a swimming pool in. So that was pro number three, was that the large lot is a possibility still, and Herriman hasn't been fully built out. So there's still available land that you could buy potentially. Just know that you can get a larger lot than some other areas that are fully already built out. Number four is they have great schools. So the schools in Herriman are really good. Online, they don't seem like they're super high rated, but I think it's more diversity type stuff that they have for lowering their ratings, not necessarily academically. But I have children that go to both middle school and high school here in Herriman and absolutely love it and are happy with their teachers and schools that they attend. Number five would be the weather in Herriman. In the summer, you go anywhere from 60s to the high 90s. Usually in the winter, it's in the 20s to 40s. 20 degrees will be at nighttime and the 40s during the day. We get something around 20 inches of rain a year in Herriman. So it doesn't rain a ton, but it rains enough. The first year that we were here, it would rain like in the afternoon. It seemed like it did every day at like 5, where it just sprinkle for like a minute or two, and then the wind would blow after that. So then we would need to wash our car. So we thought maybe that was why there were so many car washes. However, going through the winter time, then you find out why they have the car washes, so you can get rid of all the salt and other crap that's on your car to keep it nice. So highly recommend that you get a membership pass for one of the car places so that you can keep your car nice and clean, and it works both summer and winter, so you pretty much are stuck keeping it year round. As far as snow goes, Herriman gets somewhere around 68 inches a year. I don't believe we got that much this last year, but that's the average of 68 inches, so we'll probably get a ton this year to make up for last year's not getting 68. However, they do a really good job with keeping the roads clear. I think there was only one day where you really needed four-wheel drive, and maybe 2 or 3 where it was helpful you had four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. So I would recommend that you have at least one car with all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, and then you'll probably get away with, having snow tires on your other car. And I know My nephews have snow tires on that they put on in the wintertime for their cars and their rear-wheel drive, and they don't seem to ever complain about not being able to go somewhere. But they just store the snow tires and then they swap them once it warms up and they don't need them anymore. And number 6 for the pros, and my last pro would be low crime. So Herriman, overall, from what I read online, has a pretty low crime rate. And although it has been creeping up as the population has grown, when I talk about it in con number 1, then you'll see what the population is. But yeah, as far as overall it has low crime. So it's a good city for families and whatnot. Con number 1 would be that Herriman is growing a ton. And by a ton, I mean a ton. It went from 21,000 people in 2010 to like 61,000 people in 2020. So in 10 years, it gained 40,000 people. And, once you're here and you're looking, you'll kind of see, it used to be a ton of farmland and stuff, and now it's all built out with a lot of multifamily townhome type stuff, as well as single family homes, apartments, condos. Pretty much it has everything as far as sizes. They just have plopped in everything. So because it's growing a ton, that would mean that it's also losing its small town charm. And I don't think that that's totally gone, but you can see that it's, dwindling because of this, becoming a real city. So that's my number 1, would be that it's growing and that it's losing its small town charm. Number 2 is the east to west traffic. So, or west to east, depending upon the time of day you're going. But traffic is not great during rush hour times, 8 in the morning and 5, 6 p.m. at night. However, if you go out at 7:30 at night, you can get anywhere you want to go without a problem. Or if you're out, after about 8:39 in the morning, then there really isn't traffic. So traffic is a problem, and it does suck to come home because it takes you longer than it should. Like something that should take 5 minutes or 3 minutes, it takes 15 minutes. It's definitely not traffic like, we have in Texas or California or Seattle, that type of traffic. But you'll see, traffic can be an issue. When you turn off Bangor coming from I-15 going on to 134, you'll figure out that traffic sucks. And there's a little pro tip here from me is if you go up to 134, make a right, and then at that first stoplight there, make a U-turn and come back. A lot of the times that's faster than waiting in the line. So you just kind of have to, you'll learn that if it backs up to a certain distance, that it's faster to go up and make a U-turn and go back than it is to try to go left there. Mountain View Corridor is the other major access road that you're going to use going north-south in Herriman. And right now, while they don't have any underpasses or overpasses installed, it's not that great because you hit stoplights where you're going 55 miles, 60 miles an hour on it, and then you get to a stoplight and you're waiting 2 minutes for the east-west people to go, and then you go up another mile or 2, and then you hit another stoplight and you're waiting another minute or 2. It just sucks. They need to get those underpasses and overpasses started so they can get them finished, because they have a lot of them done on Bangor, and you'll see it's just super nice on Bangor. You can do 65 miles an hour. Some people do 80 on it, but you can really move and get where you want to go on Bangor. So anyhow, my con number 2 was east to west traffic is something you should be aware of and check out. Number 3, there's just not a lot of shopping in Herriman, even though there's a new shopping center at Mountain View Village, but that's actually Riverton. So your tax dollars go to Riverton, not to Herriman. Herriman just doesn't have a lot of shopping yet. They are building shopping on the north side of town and then some on the south side, but there just isn't there's no Target or Walmart that's in Herriman currently. You're going to be going to other cities, South Jordan or Riverton for most of your shopping needs, which, they're right there. So it feels like it's in Herriman, like when you go to the Mountain View or where the new movie theater is. It'll feel like it's Herriman, but it's really Riverton. So con number 3 was there wasn't a lot of shopping. They do have a Smith's and a Lee's Marketplace, I believe, for groceries. If you didn't want to go, to a Harmon's or something else to shop. Con number 4 is the potential for wildfires. So Herriman backs up against the mountains, and those mountains, typically have forest fires at some point. So just know that you have that potential for a forest fire. So if you don't want to be right next to the hills, then maybe you're, enough off of the hills, so that's not a problem. They haven't had a forest fire since we've been here like that. It's affected Herriman, but know that it could happen. And I wanted to share that with you so that you were aware that that was a potential. So con number 4 was the potential for wildfires. And then my last con, and one of the most important ones, is the high cost of housing in Herriman. Herriman used to be really affordable, which almost everywhere was really affordable 2 years ago. However, the median house price here in Herriman right now is $572,000. You can get a condo for right around 400, I think, and then a townhome in the 450 to 550 range, depending upon the size of the townhome. And then your single family homes are going to be 550 and up. And then, you can get a $3 million home, $4 million home in Herriman, should you wanted to. But those are pretty much the pros and cons of living in Herriman, Utah. And I'd love to chat with you if you're interested in making a move to Herriman. Give me a call, shoot me a text, give me an email, however I can help you best with making your move to Herriman, Utah. Thank you.